People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. The present state of the world, and the whole of life is diseased. If I were a doctor and were asked for my advice, I should reply, create silence. Only the person, who is essentially capable of remaining silent, is capable of speaking essentially. To be a woman is something so strange, so confusing and so complicated, that only a woman could put up with it. The truth is lived before it is understood. It must be fought for, tested, and appropriated. Truth is the way. Anyone will easily understand it, if he just gives himself to it. Wherever there is a crowd, there is untruth. God creates everything out of nothing. And everything which God is to use, he first reduces to nothing. The deepest form of despair is to choose to be another than himself. Happiness is the greatest hiding place for despair. Once you are born in this world, you're old enough to die. What if everything in the world were a misunderstanding? What if laughter were really tears? To cheat oneself out of love is the most terrible deception. It is an eternal loss for which there is no reparation, either in time or in eternity. Once you label me, you negate me. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen, but, if one will, are to be lived. There is nothing with which every man is so afraid, as getting to know how enormously much he is capable of doing and becoming. Prayer does not change God, but it changes him who prays. Are you not aware that there comes a midnight hour, when everyone must unmask? It is impossible to exist without passion. Many of us pursue pleasure with such breathless haste, that we hurry past it. To have faith is precisely to lose one's mind, so as to win God. Don't forget to love yourself. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God, than the troubled disbeliever. Whoever has learned to be anxious in the right way, has learned the ultimate. No one comes back from the dead, no one has entered the world without crying, no one is asked when he wishes to enter life, nor when he wishes to leave. Why bother remembering a past that cannot be made into a present? I feel as if I were a piece in a game of chess, when my opponent says of it, that piece cannot be moved. The unhappy person is never present to themselves, because they always live in the past, or the future. Confidence is the present tense of hope. The task must be made difficult, for only the difficult inspires the noble-hearted. It is not where we breathe, but where we love, that we live. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. Life has its own hidden forces, which you can only discover by living. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards.